Welcome to podcast number 2. This is the BERNcast, and I'm Bern, your host. So we're just gonna get rolling into it. Today I wanted to talk about, first I'm gonna go off tangent. That's not what I wanted to say. It's weird going from my videos where I can talk in cuts and these videos, these podcasts and videocasts where there's no cuts, so I have to just keep talking. So it's kind of weird, but I'm getting used to it. This is number 2. I got a lot of good feedback from a lot of you on the first podcast, so thank you for listening, thank you for watching. This is going to soon evolve into something quite interesting. Today is Sunday. I'm having a chill Sunday while I'm waiting for a video to render. But let's just get into what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about how I'm doing YouTube full time and that whole YouTube story. I think that would be interesting. So I wrote a few notes down on a piece of paper, and I guess I want to start with first I run a YouTube channel just called Bern Romulus. I make car reviews. This is a great way to plug my other channel. Hopefully this video or sound or whatever blows up. But I make car reviews, all kinds of car videos, off-road videos, reviews, DIY videos, all kinds of videos, pretty much anything related to cars. But I've been doing this full-time for about, it's July, so 2 or 3 months now. And I wanted to talk about how I got started doing it full-time, and then also why I'm doing YouTube at all. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the people that I used to listen to and watch. A big influencer for me to do YouTube for myself was Saab Kylo 4. I've been watching him since I was a little kid, since he first started posting videos over 10 years ago, I think. And his videos and just all car review videos back in the day used to get so many views. A lot of his videos have over 1 million views. Just because I think it was a lot easier back then to get into something like that. Now there's all kinds of people that have their phones out or just shooting with a GoPro, which is fine. I don't want to talk shit on people, but everybody's doing it now. And I am everybody. I'm part of that everybody, but I'm trying to stand out. And I think I am, because I know I make good videos, and because I critique my own videos sometimes, but he is definitely one of the people that really influenced me to start my own YouTube channel. There's a few other people, like Mike's Car Info. His channel isn't that big, but it's bigger than mine. And then also the dudes at Car Confections. They're around my age, and I was like, wow, they're doing well. I can do that too. So yeah, it was mostly Saab Kylo 4 that he posted walk around videos. Now his channel is kind of changing. Now he's doing videos of him working on his cars and in his shop and his house. I've been watching him build his house with his wife, Crystal. I hope that's her name. And that's a cool little series. So I look forward to his house or his home improvement type videos. But now I guess I'll talk about how I got into YouTube. And how I got started. At first, I used to do, way back in the day, before even I did real cars, I used to do videos of RC cars or RC trucks. I still have 2 of them. I made them from scratch. I built a 3rd gen 4Runner out of styrene, PVC sheets of plastic with my dad. And then I built a 3rd gen Tacoma. I still have both of those, but I've had several RCs in the past, and that hobby gets very expensive very fast. You'll spend near $1,000 on a kit, And it's crazy. But that's what I started doing videos on. I moved all those videos to another channel. It's called That Gearhead RC. I may get back into it, but not really buying anything, just driving them around and posting videos with my phone. Just, if I want to. But I stopped doing that real fast because RC videos in general don't do well. Used to follow, and I still occasionally follow some RC content creators, and their channels have just been the same over the past 5 years. So that's why I got out of doing RC videos, because I'd also make like 25 cents a month. 25 cents a month, that's a gumball a month. You could have 12 gumballs in a year. Stupid. Fuck. But, see that I can't use a cut. I can't cut it. I'm not going to cut it because this is an adult podcast. Not adult, but, we're mature people which use mature language every once in a while. But getting back to my main discussion, so I started doing walk around videos with music and no talking. I used to, if I'd go to like the dealership service department with my dad or something, we'd always walk around the dealership lots and the lots nearby and just look at the cars. So I started to just whip my phone out. And I remember my first video, I think, was the 2016 Civic. It was a blue EXL sedan. That might be Chinese to some of you people, but I remember that video, and that video got like 3,000 views. And back then I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of people. And then I did a pilot, and then I just kept doing those walk around videos for a little while. And then I kind of would watch other people, like my friend Sofyan. He does Redline reviews. He's at like 800,000 subscribers. And I at the time, I'd say maybe 2016, 2017. That's when I really started to get into his videos too, at least like watching them. That was before I knew him. But it just kind of kept going. So I went from the tours to doing like the reviews. And I remember my first review was a 2017 Ridgeline. And at that time I was way too shy to even talk on camera, or in like even not being in front of the camera. I'd just be way too shy to talk at all on scene, because at that time I was maybe 15, 14, 15. Yeah, before I was driving, probably 14 years old. And the salesman or somebody from the dealership would like stand by and watch, so I'd be too shy to talk in front of him, and the videos didn't turn out great anyway. Those early videos, I deleted some of them. Others got a lot of views, but it started as a hobby and just something fun that I thought. I actually remember in between the RC videos and the dealership videos, I used to go to car meets like Katie's Cars and Coffee, Annapolis Cars and Coffee, and stuff like that, and post videos of, the cars at the shows. And those kind of got some views, like 500 views, but not a lot. So that's when I started to do reviews. I wanted to get into that. And now going back to after I was doing voiceovers. The voiceovers were terrible. Some of the voiceover videos are still on my channel, like the 2017 Land Cruiser and Lexus LX and stuff like that. So those videos, I cringe at those. I don't even look at those anymore. So I started doing that while I was doing the voiceovers, and then I started to talk in front of the camera. That's just as I got more used to it. Just like this podcast, every time, like before I film something, I usually get all anxious. I'm like, what am I going to talk about for 20, 30 minutes? I don't know what I'm going to do. But, now I'm just rolling into it. I gave myself a bit of an outline, but I think I'm doing pretty well so far. So after I started talking in front of the camera, I was talking very quietly on camera. and I would not even imagine doing something like a podcast, like 3 or 4 years ago. And then it just progressed. I just kept doing more videos. I'll get into some of the difficulties with that, but I kept doing more videos with different dealerships, just reaching out to managers. I'd get mostly yeses, but some dealerships would say no. But it was real great back then, because those videos would get a lot of views, so many views, hundreds of thousands of views. That was like my old version prime time, but now, I'm working up to the big thing. So, I actually have a bit of a following. I have a following now, and it's interesting running into people that are just like driving or in the store, and they're like, I know you from somewhere, or I know your car. But after I started talking on camera, that is when, I was still shy to talk in front of the camera, looking at it and have the camera look at me, and I was insecure about how I looked. I was like, I thought people on YouTube were always supposed to be pretty, and I just don't want to get into a mental talk. That's for another type of podcast, which I probably will end up doing, but I just didn't feel like I was gonna cut it in terms of like appearance, especially I was a little kid and everyone else is older than me. But then I was just like, screw it. I don't remember what video. I think it was a video on my Accord. I did a very long review on my Accord Betty White. That video was like 34 minutes long, way too long, but got a decent amount of views. A lot of people like that car, and just those Accords in general. So that's when I was like, okay, I think I have something going here, but it was still weird talking in front of a camera. I'd have to, at that time I didn't even script my videos, so I really don't remember how I remembered all that stuff. I do remember I used to write note cards and like study the car before the time I'd actually review it. So it went into that, and then it just kind of evolved into how it is now. And where my dilemma is, first I started doing older like videos on older cars maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago. Over a year now. No way, maybe 2 years ago. Wow. But I started doing the old cars with my friend Karna's 2000 Honda Accord. I reviewed that. No, I did my truck first, but whatever. So I started doing that, and then that's when I started scripting my videos even more. But even before then, I would script some stuff, but I tried different formats of videos and they didn't really stick with me. But my current format, I think, is unique enough that it stands out, and the quality of my videos is, I would say, decent. It's nothing cinematic, unless if it's like a really special car or if I'm on an off-road trip or something. But I try to keep the production not simple and crap, but looking good enough, but not over the top. Not good enough. I try to exceed, expectations all the time, but I don't want to, I don't have the energy to be over the top. I'd rather put that into actually talking about what I'm talking about. But it just kind of evolved into how it is today, and now I'm doing videos on my own cars, my friends' cars. I've done videos on some people, like random people's cars, just they send me an email and they're like, hey, you want to review my car? And I'm like, sure. So if you know anybody, or if you have a car that I could review, I think I'll leave my email in the description of the YouTube video, but I'm not sure how I'm going to put that in the Spotify, because you can't hear letters, you can only see them. Stupid. But yeah, that's how it evolved. And then now I want to talk about my progression into, I wasn't done talking about my dilemma. My dilemma is I want to start getting back into new cars, I really don't like new cars that much anymore. They're cool to look at, they're cool to drive, but I don't have that passion like I do for. It's stupid. It really doesn't make sense to me that I'll go crazy over seeing a really clean, like 2005 Toyota Highlander or something, or a 2005 XC90, or just any old car. Ugh, old minivans. I could go all day talking about those, but it doesn't make sense. I will talk about and just be very excited about seeing an old van, and then I see like a new Audi Sport, like Audi RS5 or S4, and I'm just like, okay, everything is the same now. Nothing, no one, it's not the same. But I want to get back into new car videos, but the dealerships in my surrounding area, well, I haven't tried either, just because, like, I am happy doing the older cars. I just wish that those videos got more views faster, so to sustain, well, like a, full-time income. Because the new cars are where the money is, because everyone's looking up new cars. Not as many people are looking up 2004 Toyota Avalon or something, but there's still those little cult groups out there, which is why I want to post videos of those types of cars. But the dealerships around me stopped being responsive, because either people, like my contacts, would move away to another dealership, or they'd change management, and the new management doesn't understand how YouTube works, so I'd kind of be stuck. So that's when I started doing older cars. Now, I wouldn't say I'm like really running out, but I'm starting to fizzle out of a lot of the cars that I'd like to do videos of. And there is quite a bit of stuff that I'd love to get my hands on eventually. So I guess I'll add a plug. So if you are in Virginia, DC, Maryland, and Pennsylvania, maybe even Delaware, depending on how far, let me know what kind of car you have if you'd like to get it reviewed, because I'd like to do that. I feel like I've been talking a lot about car reviews. My goodness me. But now I want to talk about I guess I'd call it my journey, my journey into full-time YouTube ship or whatever. So like I said in the other podcast last week, I've been working at dealerships since I was about 14 years old, going into my freshman year of high school. So I know what a job is. I know what it means to be there on time and do everything that you're told to do. And I enjoyed it. I worked at a Honda dealership. I worked at Sport Honda, the dealership that I film all my Honda videos at. I worked there for 3 years. That was, I have to say, I learned a lot about myself at that job, and that was probably one of the best work environments I've ever been to. Well, just ever been around, because all the other places, which I don't want to name, in some way or form have been absolute, not catastrophes, but just some were terrible. I'm going to be honest. Some were terrible. Like the last place that I worked at, I don't want to name names because I have some good relationships with, wow, I slurred that. I have some good relationships with some of these people that I worked with. I still talk to them. But it was honestly a terrible place to work. I don't want to go back there. So I guess I'll go into that. And it's probably something that a lot of 20-something-year-olds have been thinking. I did not want to work at a job that I did not like my boss. And I did not want to work to make him rich. I wanted to work to make myself rich and achieve my goals. But I just really thought long and hard about it. I was like, I want to do this full time. Like, I see myself doing YouTube full time. I like making videos. I like editing when everything goes well. I need to get a new computer, but I like doing everything about it, and I like to be self-sufficient. I like to earn my own living. So my last week of work, which everyone knew it was going to be my last week, I was like, well, I'm going to do it. And then so I kind of had this like turning point, and then I was gone. And then it's just kind of moved into here. I've been posting for the most part 2 videos a week, which is not bad doing that. I mean, it would be nice if I could post more, but then I think like if I posted 3 or 4 videos a week, like some people, I think I'd get burnt out. Because for my videos, because I script them and the way how I do them, it takes a lot of history and research and finding pictures and getting music and a lot of stuff. So I think if I did that I'd like to do it more because I kind of would like to do more now. I have a whole list of cars I'd like to do videos of, but if I posted like every day or nearly every day, I think I'd get burnt out real fast, and that's not what I want to do. And so far the money has been pretty good. I guess eventually I'll go into how Google AdSense and such like that works, but a lot of people have talked about that already. I don't know about podcast, but it's been pretty good so far. I've not really had anything to complain about. I've still been able to maintain the things that I do now. And I have my little side hustles, and hopefully this podcast turns into some sort of side hustle. But like I said, the podcast, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this just because it kind of frees up space in my head. So it's kind of nice. But let's see what else I wanted to talk about. Do what I want. Yeah, I already said I want to do what I want. And I said I post 2 videos a week. I've been posting Mondays and Fridays, but the past few weeks have been like busy with life stuff and also weather. And also when it gets so hot, when it's like 100 degrees, I don't feel like doing anything. And also I do need to find people's cars to shoot. What I think I'm going to do is not post on Craigslist, but find like cool cars on Craigslist and then probably reach out to the owners. It would help them sell it because I've done a few videos for people while someone is selling a car and it's sold the car. I think 3 now. But I guess my goal, so right now I'm about to hit 10,000 subscribers. Yes, I'm about to hit 10,000 subscribers very soon. But I don't really set numbers for me. I just do things to my best ability, and I don't want to get pressed on numbers. So I don't want to say, oh, I want to hit 20,000 by the end of the year. Whatever happens, happens. It'll happen when it's supposed to. That's just kind of how I take things now. But it would be nice. It would be really nice because I'd also like to be able to buy whatever car I'm looking at. There's so many freaking convertibles that I'm looking at for sale now, but I'm nowhere near ready to go buy one. But some cool things that are going to happen that I can talk about are next month I'm going to the New York Auto Show. I talked about that in the last podcast, but I'm going to go up there. It's going to be my first media day. So that's the day before it's open to the public, and that's the day that they do all the fancy reveals and stuff. Something I do need to do before that is most likely get a new computer, because the computer that I've been using, the laptop that I've been using, I've had since I started my freshman year, and it still works pretty fine. But now that I'm, the files are getting much bigger and all, it's kind of getting slow. It's getting tired. There's no way to put it. So I'd like to retire it, give it to somebody else that needs it more than me. and that doesn't need, high processing rates and stuff. But when it comes to computers, I'm really lost. If any of you are listening and you have suggestions for computers, any of my friends, just let me know, because in the next, well, yes, I'm going to need it in less than a month. I don't know if I should get a Mac, because I use my phone for things for the videos, so I'd like to be able to transfer files easier, because the way how I have to do it now is just a freaking pain in the keister. But yeah, I definitely need a new computer. And also, it takes forever for the videos that I've finished to render. And rendering, for people that don't know, is kind of, I guess, the first word that came to my mind is cooking, or just putting everything together, or saving it. This video that I'm looking at right now on my computer says it's taken 5 hours so far, and it has 2 hours left. And the video is only 18 minutes long. So I'd love to get a computer that can actually handle high files and not take forever to post things, because at the auto show, if they're actually going to be posting, they're going to be revealing cars, I'm going to have to be able to upload fast to, meet the embargoes, so I have a chance to get views. And hopefully me going to New York will help my channel kind of blossom a little bit. But I think all my videos are helping, because I have people watching from all different types of, all categories. Like, I have people watching for Volvo videos, I have people watching for my truck, for reviews, off-roading, everything. I think for people that are watching the video podcast on my Bern's iPhone channel, I think I'd like to get into amateur tech reviews, just because I like to talk about things that I learn about technology, like my camera, my microphones, and I also want to do like a plant or garden tour, because I like gardening. Now I'm going off tangent because I want to keep talking. So don't mind me. If you want to go now, you can, but you can stay for the the randomness. But I'd like to do a sort of plant tour, and I like videos of cutting grass.
But I was going to say,
and I
this is
think
my
I want to do
podcast.
that.
I'm
for
going
this
to
channel.
jolly well talk about certain things that I think are
I
stupid.
don't want to look at
And
the camera.
I am not going to get into the political side of this. This is getting very off topic, but this is the last few minutes of this podcast anyway. But I saw this today while I was in my backyard. There's trails behind my house. There was a group of 3 people, which looked like they were in the same family, which right now, I really don't know. But they were in the woods by themselves with masks on. Why? That's all. I don't want to start adding anything else, because just probably that comment has angered somebody. But it just doesn't understand. I don't understand why. I'm going to end this podcast here. Thank you for watching. I think I talked for like a while. I think it should be hopefully 30 minutes. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I will see you in the next one. I'm a little bit tired today, so that's kind of why it's kind of more chill. At least I think. I don't know. But I'll talk to you guys and see you guys later. Make sure to check out my what do I call it? My primary YouTube channel. Thank you for everything again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.